Hello there, welcome back to another episode of how I cook things. Today I'm going to show you how I do potato soup. And this is Nala, by the way. Come here, come say hello. Come have a I'm bribing her so she can show her face on the camera. Right, what are you doing down there? Anyway, so I'm going to show you how I cook potato soup. Basically, it's a winter food, really. It's very nice soup, and it warms you up considerably, which is probably something that you don't want in the UK at the moment. But I'm sure that somewhere around the world it's winter. So this is how I do it. Okay, so I'll start off with the tarragon, and we're just going to chop it up as if we were chopping up parsley. You just finely chop it because it's got to be mixed in with the actual potato soup itself later on during the cooking process. So just finely chop it up. You just put it in plate and put it to one side for later. Right, this is the list of ingredients that you'll need. I know it's quite long, but none of it's particularly difficult. It's just all the bits and bobs that you'll actually need to put in the soup from basically start to finish. So we'll make a start on a single onion, peel it, cut it in half. This is how I sort of prepare an onion ready for chopping as opposed to slicing. So I just put splits in all the way through the onion, but not right to the end. I then sort of cut it halfway along without cutting the ends of my fingers off, hopefully. And then start slicing it. So that's all your onion done. Just pop it in the bowl, put it to one side. Right, we need 3 garlic. What we do is just top and tail them, and then take the skins off, or peel them, and then we'll crush them later when we're actually got the soup on the hob. You sort of crush them with a crusher into the soup. 3 sticks of celery. These are going to be chopped up. Okay, that's the celery finished off. Now we've got some spring onion. Spring onion is just put in the soup as you're serving it up, so how much you actually want to chop up is up to you. It's just a garnishing that goes on top of the soup once it's in the bowl. If you don't like spring onion, don't use it. It looks sort of pretty in the bowl. Now it's the potatoes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep some of the peelings from the potatoes because I'm going to deep fry them, because they make sort of quite a crispy potato peeling crisp, for want of a better word. And basically I just deep fry them. I'll show you that later in the video. Now with the potatoes, because you need, how much do you need? 450 grams. What I do is I just put an empty bowl on the scale, set the scale to 0, and then add the potato as I'm chopping it. And then when I hit 450 grams, then I stop. I don't weigh the potatoes to start off with because you don't know how much wastage you're going to get from each potato. Not all of it will be cubed, so you'll lose some. So it's better to just add it as you go along until you hit 450 grams of cubed potatoes. Also find with my scales that if there's no activity for a certain amount of time, that it will just turn itself off. So that's why I put the cubed potatoes straight in the bowl as soon as I've cut them. So it increases the weight on the scale and it doesn't detect inactivity. Otherwise you'll have to reset it and empty the bowl and reweigh it again. As soon as I've hit 450 grams, that's it. No more potato cutting. Right, now the bacon, I pre-weigh the bacon. You want 225 grams of it. You'll use it all up, and basically that goes in the pot right at the beginning to make the bacon crispy, and also to render the fat out, which is used for frying the onion as the base for the soup itself. So you're just cutting these into sort of bite-sized pieces. This bacon is streaky bacon, and it's also quite salty as well. Smoked. I think it's smoked streaky bacon, which makes it salty. So as a result, making up the chicken stock, I tend to use chicken stock which has less salt in it. So otherwise the whole thing could be too salty. So you're making up 480 millilitres of chicken stock. So I just put 6 spoonfuls of the powder and then add boiling water and then mix it all up. Once you've got the water in, just measure it in the jug and then give it a good stir. It should thicken up quite nicely actually, but you don't want it too thick. So just keep an eye on it when you're stirring, but it will thicken up. Now you just want to grate some cheese. This is also for garnishing the soup once it's in the bowl. Just plonk a bit of grated Red Leicester cheese on top. Very tasty, makes it look pretty. I think that's more than enough. How much you do is entirely up to you. Now it's cooking time, so I put the bacon in first. I start off on a low heat. I don't put any fat into the bottom of the saucepan. Basically, I just start it on a lowish heat, just so that the fat starts rendering out. Keep stirring it. And then once it's cooked, it will be crispy, and you'll have a bit of fat left in the bottom of the saucepan to fry the onion with. Saucepan I'm using here is, I think it's more of a casserole dish. It's cast iron, which is enamel coated, and for reasons I don't know, it always goes black on the bottom. I mean, it's easy enough to clean off afterwards, but it's not exactly non-stick. I think it's supposed to be, but I mean, I've got cast iron cookware which is not enameled or anything, and basically you just season that and it's fine. Never had a problem with it. With this thing, it goes black on the bottom. Right, that's the crispy bacon out. Now you're going to put the onion in. And there's the crispy bacon. Just quickly show you. Well, I just fry the onion, and basically you just want to do it for a few minutes until it sort of goes soft and translucent, at which point we'll then get on to the next stage. Notice how black the bottom of the pot has got. Now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter, mix it all in, and then thicken it up with a bit of flour, and you want to fry that for a while, about 4 minutes. This is where the garlic goes in. You're crushing it. 3 cloves of garlic, which we did earlier. Just crush it in. Mix it all in. Now we're going to add a bit of flour in a minute. Adding flour is a bit like making a roux, really. Although, I mean, a pure roux is just flour and oil mixed together and heat it up until it goes a sort of brown colour. Mix all of that in. Let's add a bit more flour. You do want to thicken it up quite nicely. So if it doesn't have enough flour in, it's not thick enough, then just add a little bit more. You need to cook this a wee while for a few minutes just to make sure that you don't get any flour taste in the roux. So if you cook it for about 4 or 5 minutes, then that'll be fine. Now you add the chicken stock that you made earlier. Mix it all in. Once you've got the potatoes and the celery in, you want it to be running for about 30 minutes. I mean, you normally check the potato with a fork and make sure it's cooked enough, and then it's up to you whether you mash it or not. You can partially mash it. Anyway, we've just added some milk there. 240 millilitres of milk. And now put the celery in and mix it all in. And then once that's mixed, you're going to add the potato. Right, once it starts to simmer, then leave that running for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to deep fry our potato peelings. This is just for garnish on top of the soup. You don't have to do this, but I like it. It's nice. It's like crisps. Poke them down with a fork and make sure they cook both sides. And then you'll put those to one side. See what your soup's up to. Right, that's been running a while. So you want to check that the potatoes are done. Just shove a fork in a piece of potato. And if it goes in easily, then they're pretty much done. Now, if you want to mash them, then go for it. If not, if you want like soup with chunks in it, then don't mash them. I sort of partially mash it, sort of half-hearted attempts at making mash. Because then you get some chunks, but it's mainly sort of mash. If you understand what I'm saying. This does actually make a very nice soup, and I think it's more of a winter thing, really. I don't know why I'm making potato soup in the middle of summer when it's 30 degrees outside, but that's what I'm doing. But potato soup is really nice if you cook it this way. Now we're adding some sour cream. How much you use is up to you, but I tend to use just over 100 millilitres, 120. Mix it in. I reserve a bit of the sour cream just to garnish it at the end. Now we're putting in the tarragon, which we chopped up earlier. Again, mix it all in. Looks like it's nearly done. Right. That's done. Okay, it's serving up time now. There's only two of us, so just put 2 bowls on. So just put the soup in the bowls to start off with. Give it a quick stir. You'll probably notice that when it comes to serving food up, I'm probably the messiest person ever. And what do they call the people who sort of sort food out for photography? It's like food dressers? I don't know. But anyway, I'm absolutely no good at it. I just sort of ladle it out and put it in a bowl. A bit like that film Oliver Twist, where they're just ladling out gruel. So ordinarily, if we had dinner guests around, I'd probably get someone else to do this, because I'm not very good at it. Look at the mess I've made there. Terrible. Right, once you've got enough soup in the bowl, and it seems that I'm trying to fill it up as much as I can, then it's time to start adding the garnish. Okay, I think you've got enough there. I don't know whether this is going to be a good video. There's too much swearing in it. Right, we'll start off with the spring onion. I think this would actually look very appetizing if I did it properly, but I'm just sort of chucking stuff in at the moment. But I'm sure that all of you out there will do a better job than this when it comes to actually putting the garnish on the soup. Know how to cook it, I don't know how to present it, as you can plainly see. That's the Red Leicester cheese going on. I know it looks like carrot, but it's not. Now for the bacon bits. I love crispy bacon. Too much of everything. Now we're putting on the potato skins that we deep fried earlier. They're nice and crispy as well. So you've got quite a few crispy bits in there. If you've got one left over, eat it. And a bit of sour cream on the top. I know there's some in the soup, but it looks nice when you put it on top as well. Well, it would do if you did it properly. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was fun to do. It takes a while because there's a lot of ingredients that have got to be cut up and prepared and what have you. But the effort is well worth it. And as I said, I'm sure that there's winter somewhere around the world. Anyway, I'm going to try and put a video up every week. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So in order to be told when I put a new video up, if you hit the subscribe and the like button as well, if you like the video, then you'll be notified as soon as a new video goes up. As I said, I hope to do one a week if I can. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.